Good evening. This is Man to Man, A to Z, and with my wife, uh, Miss Naturally for us, or Mrs. Naturally for us. But anyway, she's joining me on this broadcast, and we're going to be talking for a little bit on nutrition. People have been asking us to do more on nutrition because we have a history or a basis education in nutrition and health, and we've been applying nutrition and health to our lives, especially holistic nutrition and health. Our children were raised in that way, and we're pretty healthy. We are not under the doctor's care or anything. We don't take any medications, and for our ages, which are in our mid-60s, 60 to mid-60, people say we don't look that old, so obviously we're doing something right. So we want to talk a little bit about nutrition then. Okay, you want to say anything at this moment before we get going?
Okay, and Vanessa Brown, she asked us to speak about nutrition and and what we eat. Okay, so that's what that's why we're speaking about this, because she wanted us to speak on that. So, and what we had today, Vanessa, is okay, I put in the crock pot. See, and you have to learn, creative ways, because me and my husband, we haven't always, ate natural. I was talking to my husband, I was saying, remember a time he ate this pizza and the pizza made him sick. And so that's when he stopped eating pizza. Okay, so what we have to do is gradually stop, because once we just go, and I'm good at that, just going hog wild, at it at the beginning. I was a vegetarian, and my husband, he was a vegetarian too, and I'm telling you, have you ever seen vegetarians? Some vegetarians look sick. Okay, so it's all, I'm telling you, with knowledge. And that's what the Word of God said, my people perish for lack of knowledge. So anyway, what we had today was, and I cooked in the crock pot, I put, chicken wing, smoked turkey. Okay, thank you. Smoked turkey. And I put carrots in there, and I put zucchini, and I put potatoes, and I didn't have to put any seasoning, because see, the smoked turkey, it went through everything. So, and I put what was that? I'm trying to think.
Probably.
Oh yeah, cilantro,
onions,
and onions, and I didn't put the bell pepper, but I was thinking about I should have
parsley, probably.
Yeah, parsley. I put parsley in it. Okay, so, and all of it was organic. I make sure that all my vegetables are organic. So, and it came out to a good soup. So I'm just saying, we have to do, like I said, things like that. Make sure you keep all these vegetables in there. You got to get those vegetables in. That's all I'm saying.
And try to stay away from fried foods. My wife knows how to do chicken. It tastes just like fried chicken, but she does it in the oven. And she doesn't use shake and bake either. She has her own way of doing that. So there's things you can do to eat right or eat better, so that you can, help your health. Okay. Reason why we're so interested in this, first of all, the Bible tells us early on about eating and eating habits. Okay, and we know that what happened is over the years, God changed the dietary laws because he saw that man was going to be disobedient anyway. So a lot of the dietary laws changed, but in the beginning, God said not to eat any fat or blood. And he said, basically, when he said it, he meant forever. Now, there's a problem when you have fat and blood. Obviously, fat clogs your arteries. We know about that now. A lot of hypertension. There's a lot of high blood pressure, A lot of arteries are clogged because of fat. There's a lot of poisons in the system because of the fat and fat deposits floating around in the system. So obviously God knew what he was talking about. Then he says, do not eat the blood. Well, in biblical days, they drained all the blood out of the animals before they ate them. Nowadays, they don't drain all the blood out of animals. And we know that in the bloodstream, a lot of bacteria, a lot of viruses, a lot of things are in the bloodstream. So when then you eat that meat from the animals, and then that causes the problem. So God said not to eat fat and blood, and there was a reason for it. Also God said in the Old Testament to not mingle the seeds. When you sow the seeds, don't mingle the seeds. But what he was talking about basically is hybrid foods. Don't eat hybrid foods. Hybrid foods are foods where they cross-pollinate with two different kind of species. And then what happens is it's a different type of plant. Well, the problem with hybrid plants, they don't have the same nutrient value. Okay? So God knew what he was talking about again. So a lot of the plants and the foods we get in the market now are almost all hybrid or either genetic. Okay? Which means they don't have the nutrients. So you keep eating and keep eating and keep eating them, but you're not getting any nutrients. All you're getting is a bunch of calories, and then people get fat. There's a lot of additives being added to the food now. There's a lot of things put in the food to try to make you want to eat more. Just like they put nicotine in the cigarettes to get you hooked with the cigarettes, putting MSG in the food. Well, MSG makes you crave more food. And so as you crave more and more food, you eat more, you eat more, and you eat more. And again, you're not getting the nutrients that your body needs, and you just kind of blow up. So a lot of people have weight problems. A lot of it is not their fault. A lot of it is the foods they eat. So there's a lot of things that God said that if we just would do what he said do in the beginning, we would be healthier now anyway. So we're just trying to do that, and we're trying to do it in a way where it's still palatable, it still tastes good, and we can try to stay healthy, to stay out of the doctor's office, because a lot of people go into the hospital and go to the doctors and they don't come back except in a body bag. So we want to keep ourselves healthy and be accountable for our own health. So those are some of the reasons why we do what we do.
Okay, so what else does the Bible say, about the hoof and all of that, and, catfish?
Well, yeah, it tells you certain things to eat. And again, like I said, God lessened the restrictions over the years. And then you go to 2 Corinthians, I think it is, where it talks about do not make people or tell people what they need to eat. Don't tell them to abstain from this, that, or the other. So basically what it's saying is you have a right to eat anything you want to eat. It doesn't have anything to do with your salvation or anything like that. But in the Old Testament, when he set down the strict dietary laws, he said not to eat anything with a hoof, which means like a pig. Well, the reason why you don't eat pork is because a pig can eat anything and it doesn't kill him, because he's designed that way by God. So, but a pig has a little, well, it's not a valve, but it's a little opening in its leg where all poisons can drain out. Okay, but then when we eat the pig, the poisons that are in the tissue, in the blood, and in the different organs that we eat gets into our system. And we know pork causes high blood pressure because of the impurities it's in pork. So that's why he said don't eat the pig. Then he said don't eat certain types of fish. Well, catfish is one, because catfish is a scavenger. A scavenger will eat anything, even the mess from other fish that's on the bottom of the lake. So again, God knew what he was doing. So if you just do what the Bible says, or try to adhere to some of the things God said in the beginning, we'll be a lot healthier today than most of us are. Okay, just by obeying God. And it's not too hard and not too difficult, but you have to make a conscious decision to do it. And yes, it will be a little bit more expensive, but it's like, as the commercial used to say, I forget what it was about, but it said pay me now or pay me later. See, so you either pay for your organic food now, or else you have hundreds of $1,000s cancer, hospital bills later on that you die and wind up leaving to your kid. So we rather pay for organic foods now and try to eat right now and try to get the nutrients that we need now, even if we have to order supplements, because a lot of nutrients aren't in the food anymore. So we do everything we can to stay healthy now. And yes, our grocery bill is probably a lot higher than most people, but it's worth it to us because we're not going to be going to the doctors and to the hospital and let them kill us. Okay, this is our attitude. This is how we feel.
Yeah. And so, as far as vitamins, should we take vitamins? And what does vitamins do for us?
Well, vitamins and minerals are necessary because that's what your body needs to live. That's your body doesn't look at the food item; it looks at the nutrients that's in the food, or takes in the nutrients that's in the food. Well, if the food doesn't have any nutrients in it, which a lot of the food doesn't now, because of the fact that a lot of it is hybrid food, and then also for the fact that a lot of the food is picked too soon before it's ripe, or a lot of the food is processed. So all of these things kill the nutrients in the food. So therefore you need to take supplements. If you're going to take supplements, you got to take the right supplement, because just any tablet will not do. A lot of supplements will pass right through the system, come out in the stool. Okay, so you have to take, it's best to take powdered or liquid supplements. Okay, if you're going to take tablets or anything like that, then it's best to chew them up, no matter how nasty they may be, in order to make sure it gets broke down and then you get whatever's in that particular vitamin or mineral or whatever. So what we try to do is take powdered or liquid or capsules, because then we know it goes directly into our system and we're getting the nutrients. And yes, again, the nutrients are expensive. You shouldn't have to pay for nutrients. It should be in your food, but it's not in the foods. Another thing that God said that we don't do now is God said to let the land rest every 7 years.
Yeah.
And the reason why God said to let the land rest every 7 years is because after 6 years, the soil has been depleted of whatever nutrients was in the soil, because the plants have taken everything out, nothing's been put back in. So the 7th year, if you just let the field lie sallow, is what they used to call it, or just plow whatever it is under and let it rot back into the soil, then you're putting nutrients back in the soil. So then the 8th year, you can begin, eating again. Farmers don't do that nowadays, and they haven't done that for hundreds of years. But so therefore, there's less nutrients in the food. Okay, so there's a lot of reasons why we're not getting the nutrients, and we need to get them. So you just have to purchase them.
So, and we don't eat out. Okay.
No, we don't eat out
So,
much.
at like McDonald's, we haven't ate at a McDonald's or like Wendy's or all of those, or Jack in the Box.
Now, I remember when they opened the first McDonald's, I think I was in high school, and I can't, probably maybe 4 or 5, maybe 6 times in my life I've been to McDonald's. And I used to go there to get their fries until I found out about their fries. If you want to know about McDonald's fries, then go on Google and Google McDonald's fries, and you'll find out about some fries. You'll never eat another McDonald's fry, even though they may taste good. So, but no, we try to stay away from fast food, and even restaurants. We eat out a little bit, but we know which restaurants to go to. We have certain ones that we know we can watch them cook the food, for one thing, and we know they have a reputation for being clean and not putting certain things in the food. If you're going to eat at a Chinese restaurant, make sure they don't use MSG. Most Chinese restaurants use MSG. MSG is a deadly killer. Look up MSG on Google. You'll find a whole array of information on MSG. And what you find out about MSG and so-called natural flavors will make you not want to eat a Chinese restaurant again, probably either. But the ones we do go to, when we do, we know they don't, use MSG. So those are some of the things that we do and how we safeguard our health.
Okay.
Anything else?
Well, I think that's it for now.
Okay. Well, we know that Satan kills, steals, and destroys, and we believe he's killing, stealing, and destroying through the foods. That's why people are getting sicker and sicker, and the healthcare industry is completely out of control, and it's not getting any better. So you should be able to live without a healthcare program, really. I had healthcare for years before I retired. We never used it. Anytime we got a little illness or something, we knew why we had it, we knew what we needed to do, and then we would use herbal medicines, which is another whole subject.
Yeah.
God has medicines for us. So anyway, those are some things. We'll do more about nutrition because it's such a vast subject. But we thank you for tuning in. Hopefully you got something from it. Email us questions and comments. Okay.